Great to have you here, John. Give people a bit about your background because you guys have a really interesting model there.
Yep. So John Behringer, Director of Licensing at Mayo Clinic. My background is in intellectual property licensing. At Mayo, we go a little bit beyond intellectual property licensing and do try to find commercial relationships. At Mayo, our primary mission is the needs of the patient come first. And in order to do that, Mayo knows that we can't do everything for everyone all at once. We have certain significant resources and capabilities on the medical side and on the investment side. But we don't have everything. We don't know everything, especially in product development capacity. My job is to help to facilitate relationships with commercial entities that have complementary resources and capabilities that can support bringing new therapies to patients, whether that be therapies developed at Mayo or us helping to support driving a company's products or services forward.
And you're looking at companies and services, I assume, that could help patients at Mayo as well. That's always your driving mantra.
Yep, exactly. So in terms of practice innovation, Mayo is always on the cutting edge of, there can be instances where Mayo would say, this looks like it's going to be important someday. We don't quite know how, so we're going to invest in this. And so there are certain areas like that in which Mayo can, look ahead and then work with groups that are starting to look ahead as well, which I think is a great space to be in. We're fortunate from our perspective to have the capabilities to look ahead and the ability to do that.
When Mayo's looking at investing in a company or something to move it forward, what stages are you looking at? What check sizes are you looking at? Where are the sweet spots for Mayo?
Yep. So typically early. So we are early stage research. We like to get in early with companies, whether that's a new strategic arrangement, formation of a venture studio or something of the sort, or investing in a company that has licensed the Mayo technology or that fits a strategic priority area of Mayo, transplant being one area of significant interest. There are many others, but just one example. So the funding, we recently consolidated funds. It can go anywhere from, I'd say, $500,000 to a few $1 million. And typically what we're looking for is, we don't typically lead funding, but if there's another party at the table, one that has done this before, that has kind of that investment diligence done, those are areas in which we can find comfort in joining in that.
Yeah, because then you can do your follow-on diligence, but you don't have to carry the heavy burden. Are there therapeutic areas that you're most interested in? Or are you fairly open?
Fairly open. So the beauty at Mayo is we're not locked into any given indication. Many strengths across all of our campuses. So when you look at Rochester, Minnesota, where I'm based, Jacksonville, Florida, our other campus, Scottsdale and Phoenix, Arizona, our other campus, just a broad range of technologies, modalities, areas of focus. Really strong neuro group down in Florida. Obviously, anything you can think of, we have the ability to pursue. So when you come to bio and you learn about, maybe there's a new hot space, it's I&I, it's neurodegeneration, something like that. We typically have some of those technologies in the coffers, so we can pull towards those and try to find areas in which our unmet needs that we're looking to solve fit the needs of the market or the interests of the market.
Are there areas that you personally are most excited about what you're seeing advances happen in?
Yeah, that's a good question. Cell and gene therapy is a strong area for us. So we recently licensed a CAR, a mesenchymal stromal cell technology for autoimmune disease. So we're pretty excited about those platforms that could be used to find new areas of treatment for patients. So graft versus host disease being one. At Mayo, we see all kinds of complex care, tertiary diseases. So to be able to solve for those, and when you have breakthrough therapies like CAR T, it introduces some niches, the things that might not quite be well hit. So we are open to not only looking at those initial platforms, but also where can we help to fill those niches, because those can be very important for especially the patients that Mayo sees.
Yeah, and coming out of a medical center, you have a slightly different bent than many traditional investors. What are some of those differences that people should think about when they're approaching you?
Yep. So in order to invest, it must align with our areas of interest. It can't just be pure investment for the sake of investment. So you won't see our team throwing a check in just because something looks interesting, especially if it's in the non-medical space. So alignment in terms of it relates to licensed intellectual property that's been developed. All IP that's developed is from my perspective, a result of someone seeing an unmet need. So in support of that, we can often it is challenging to invest. You can't invest in everything subject to committee's review. But if it fits a strategic area of interest for Mayo, practice innovation, transformation, or it relates to a technology that we have, it's certainly something that our group could consider.
And if a company, say it's not a Mayo piece of IP, but they are collaborating with folks at Mayo to advance it, does that give them a step up in kind of your evaluation process because there's a relationship?
Yep. So in the instances where our folks are helping to develop products, we call that a know-how relationship. So beyond standard consulting, commentary on state of the art, really helping companies to develop new products or to enable services, adding commercial value towards creation of something new. Those are know-how opportunities, and we view those in the same general light as an intellectual property relationship in which we're licensing patents. So it can help to facilitate those engagements. Not a guarantee that funding would be provided, but it's certainly one of the steps towards that engagement.
Any questions from the audience? Christian, see you formulating.
Mayo is hard to contact, probably intentionally. You can't cold call Mayo. How do you get in front of Mayo?
Yeah, so the question is how to get in front of Mayo or how to reach out to Mayo. For our group in particular, we are increasing our social media presence. So if you follow Mayo, Mayo Clinic Ventures, Mayo Business Development on LinkedIn and Twitter, we also have an e-newsletter in which contact information is often embedded. I'm happy to have folks reach out directly. It's a large organization, many different arms, which is the nature of any large group. But we do try to stay open. Our website, if you look up Mayo Clinic Business Development, gives a number of different contact folks for different areas of interest.
So how can the bullpen help you achieve your goals, and how should they reach out to you?
Yep. So we are always looking for areas of complement with industry. So if you note, there's this researcher working in this space, I'd love to involve them in this project. I think they could lend a unique expertise in terms of developing new products. Or you say, Mayo, do you have any type of technology in X, Y, or Z modality, indication, or space, or medical device? We often do have, either IP there or experts that are ready to help develop products, and I help to facilitate those relationships. So I would say if you follow us on LinkedIn, follow us on X, you can start to see some of the innovation coming out of Mayo. It's just a flavor of what we have. It's definitely not everything.
And what's your fun fact people should know to get your attention?
So I have 5 kids.
So coffee and sleep.
Yeah,
those are your fun facts.
Bags under my eyes are now permanent. So.
They're not from bio.
Yeah.
You're actually getting sleep
Yeah,
this
I'm
week.
actually getting sleep here. Yeah, which is unique. But yeah, ages 16 to 9. So it's a busy house that I have.
Nice. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Before John goes,
Oh,
you probably don't know this. It's not a big deal. But it is a big deal for us. You probably have groups all the time. But Bullpen will be at Mayo Clinic August 13th through the 15th, which is a Wednesday through a Friday. Wednesday morning we'll be arriving, and then we kick off Wednesday afternoon with a Mayo Clinic immersion. The specialty groups will be presenting to the bullpen. So if you want to engage with Mayo Clinic, we will be in Rochester, Minnesota. We're calling it Field of Dreams, because Mayo Clinic is where I think, our technologies all want to be. And so it's a Field of Dreams of sort. Day 2, Thursday, the 14th of August, we'll be pitching, reverse pitching. We'll have KOLs from Mayo, KOLs from outside. They are building out their ecosystem in Rochester, Minnesota. They have their own airport. People fly from all over the world. It's an international airport. I think it takes direct flights. But they don't have things like shared lab space, and they just announced it. We won't talk about that here. And the ecosystem is being built out by state funding to a couple $100 million, I think, is coming your way. And so they've asked Bullpen to come and bring our international investors and strategics and folks like James, and it's just going to be a really great day. Friday of that 3-day period, we do some in-depth tours of Mayo Clinic facilities, which is fascinating. If you've ever heard of anybody who's taken the tour at Mayo, it's a really great experience. And then we have a baseball game, a Twins game. We go back up to Minneapolis, and then folks are flying out Saturday. So more information coming out about that. It'll be a great day. Really grateful for the relationship we have with Mayo, and proud to be associated with my home state, Minnesota. So thank you.
Likewise.
Thanks,
Thank
John.
you.
All right, Will.